Hello, 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 Sir David the Bard. You know who it is? Yeah, the huge Bard. 300 pounds. Ah, God. The Big Macs have caught up with me. David. Sir David the Bard. Forgot my name. Coming to you out of Australia here. We have a Thai story. He's my father-in-law. He and I've never had a friend. The kids always beat me up at school, and that's where the brain damage came from. He said he wanted to learn how to ride a bus in the United States, and I'm no expert. I've always been spoiled, had a car. So I said, hell, I'll go with you. So I flew into Salt Lake. Becky Bear, the sister, is Becky Bear 1, Becky Bear 2. I took him on a bus. Now, you know, I laugh at your society. It is the silliest clown act I've ever seen. You people can't do anything right, don't have any common sense. And generally, when I go out that front door, it seems that my life is to help people grow a brain. So anyway, everything goes okay. We get on the bus, and it was cheap, $1.25 round trip if you get back by 2 o'clock. So everything went, pretty much without incident until we got to a little town called Sugar House, up on the East Bench, Salt Lake City, where the rich people live. I laughed my ass off. Rich people. Now, I don't have a wheelchair yet. I've applied for one, because I can't walk very far anymore. At all. Hurts my back, fall over, crawl. They say you're not qualified. Well, let me crawl some more. Anyway, I had Ty bring my black deck chair. The folding chairs that you go to your kid's soccer game, you put on the grass, and you sit there in comfort. Well, I told Ty, if I'm going with you, I can't walk very far. He says, I will bring chair. I said, okay. So we get on the bus, and the chair looks a little bit like a rifle case. When it's all folded up, it's black, and it has straps on it. The lady said, what's that? I said, that's my chair, man. I bought a Filipino man in Manila. He follows me around and puts the chair down when I need it. She says, okay, get on. Ty's laughing his ass off. So we get into Salt Lake City, and I gotta walk. And it's hard. At least it was downhill. Well, a long story short, he kept putting the chair down, I kept resting. He put the chair down, it's like I had a manservant. Both of us laughing our ass off, because if I don't sit down, I can't go anymore. So we're coming back, or we got to the place we're going up on 21st and 13th. There's an arts and crafts store, and he's a painter. He has his own money now, and his own card. He can just put his debit card into the machine. He's learning how to do that. So I told him I would sit outside, set my chair up. So here you have this big 300-pound guy sitting in a chair at the curb, and I started going like this. I need money. Give me money. I'm fat. I don't want to work. I just want to get your money. He's laughing and laughing. So then we have to go across in the crosswalk, and the traffic's very heavy, and it stops. Well, in Utah, they have flags. Okay, and it's crazy, but it seems to work. They have the big red flags on a stick, and you carry the red flag across the crosswalk so people can see you. Well, the Bard wants more than just people to see him. I just laugh my ass off at your society. So I take 2 flags, and I get halfway across, and then I start bringing that plane in, standing there, bringing the plane in, big red flags. Pretty soon people started yelling, get out of there, honking their horn, laughing, yelling, bring it in, bring it in. Oh, wait, I think you go this way. So anyway, Ty is so embarrassed. He's over with my chair. So we're waiting for the bus. I said, put the chair by the curb. I want to look him in the eye. So I'm sitting there going like this, begging for money. Ty is so embarrassed. Well, we got to change the bus, and I couldn't walk from one bus stop to another. It was too far. So we stopped in the middle at the Federal Building, and it's a good place to stop at the Federal Building. If they're looking for me, like my Mormon friends say they are, they'll see the Bard right out there sitting on the Federal Building at the curb. And there's a sidewalk. He says, well, you got to go down to the sign. I said, you don't know the Bard. The Bard loads on a bus anywhere. He goes, you can't do that. Yes, again, watch this. So here comes the bus. I jump out in the crosswalk. Bus has to stop. And I run around to the door. And I'm pounding on the door to get it. You can't load here. You can't load here. I said, the hell I can't. I'm handicapped. Reasonable accommodation. Open that fucking door. So he finally opens the door. I got in, I went by him. I didn't want to hassle him because he doesn't know. But I said, hey, handicapped people can load on a bus anywhere they want. They don't have to go to a bus stop. Well, it gave me an idea. You know me. I'm always trying to change the world. And I do. I do change the world a lot. So I got on the phone and I called the Utah Transit Authority. And I told the compliance officer, whatever you want to call him, for handicapped, I said, let me tell you something. You guys need to understand that the federal law, ADA federal law, supersedes your Utah law. If I'm handicapped, and you don't have to prove you're handicapped, if you say you're handicapped until the opposing person says, no, you're not. And they take a huge risk in doing that. So anyway, I have my placard, the blue placard for my cars. So I called the transit authority and I said, listen, the Bard's got an idea for you. And in fact, it's not an idea, it's an order. Because it's ADA and it supersedes your law. If a person has this blue placard, they're handicapped. Certainly someone's going to steal them, and there'll be a few that, abuse every system. But 99% of the people who have a placard don't give it to anybody else because they need it. So I said, when your driver sees that placard waving in the wind, and it's safe, you can't demand, it's like a train. You can't stand up on the railroad track with a bullet train going by and waving it and expect them to stop. I want to be reasonable. So it's a reasonable accommodation under ADA. So I said, you need to retrain your drivers and you need to let the handicapped people know if they've got a placard and they step into a safe area by a curb, they can wave that and the bus will stop and pick them up. So Utah's working on that. We'll think about it. We'll do this. I said, now listen. You told me you'll think about it. You told me you'd do this and that. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I said, if you know ADA law, you understand, I don't go through Utah courts, ever. Becky. Hi, Becky. Becky's talking to me. You're talking too much. The other day, turn it off. So anyway, they're thinking about it. I told them, I said, listen, you have to understand your position. The handicap law is federal. You can make anything up in Utah that you want. I don't care. It has got to meet federal standards or exceed. And ADA says that you have to change your policies, your procedures, and usual ways of doing business if a handicapped person wants an accommodation. It has to be reasonable, and you have a right to ask for proof that they're handicapped. That's new, well, it's not real new, but it's new after 91. But I will go to federal court right in Colorado. I'm not going to screw around with the courts in Utah, and because I'm not a certified, I'm a protected class of people because I have a disability, a mental disability. So I said, that's where we're going. I'm going to give you a couple of weeks to figure this shit out. But after that, I'm going to go and stand by the bus stop, between the bus stops like I was, and I'm going to put my card out. If that driver don't stop for me, I'll see you in federal court. You will lose, and it will be thousands and thousands of dollars for discrimination. So get together. Don't go to the temple this Friday and leave at 12 or 1 o'clock and rip your employer off. Have a meeting and get it done. Get it done that you need that placard stopped for. I think it's a great idea. Just helping handicapped people. So anyway, Ty was totally impressed. This bus is clean. There's seats in it. I know. No one riding on top. I know it's not the Philippines. Nice bus. So he got a transfer. He didn't understand a transfer till he used it a couple of times. So anyway, adventures with Ty. He's just laughing his ass off. I'm always screwing around with him, and saying, I bought him in Manila. $1.50. You can buy a Filipino to carry your chair. He's carrying it like it's my golf clubs. But I couldn't go if he didn't carry the chair. So anyway, I want you to have the pay lay in the air. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth 3 times. True order of prayer. And I certainly want you to have health and enable. Marrow in the bones, strength and loins and sinews, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. This is the Bard. And those Mormons that say, I can't be this happy until they leave the Mormon church, they don't know how happy they can be. This Bard's gone.